So I'm here with Denim Gold, head of their press play show for us here in December. Yeah, you guys have just like a wonderful sound, very country, very folksy. So I think I just want to start with, how long have you guys been together?
Yeah, we started playing together not too long after that, but it wasn't anything official. It was just like friends playing together and then writing together. And Hannah, I don't remember when we wrote our first song. Um, yeah, Hannah, do you remember? When did we first start writing?
I want to say 2019.
Yeah, I think so. Is that when Trippin' came out, maybe? Or
Trippin'
was
Trippin'
written?
came out the end of 2020, but I think we started writing probably 2019 and then wrote Trippin' in 2020.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So, and you guys played Under the Big Sky this summer, right?
We did. Yeah. Yeah.
That's so cool.
It was awesome. Yeah. We started writing together for the duo. We didn't have a name. We just were like, let's write a record. Let's make a record. I think when in 2022 is when we started writing intentionally, like let's do something together that's us, because we both loved writing together and thought it would be super fun and couldn't think of a band name. Trying to name yourself is hard, right, Hannah?
It's hard enough to name your own band, but then when you're a band together, when you're coming up with a name, it's like,
Yeah, it took us a little while. But when Zach reached out for Under the Big Sky, we were like, oh shoot, we got to come up with a name so we can have our new band name be on the poster. So that was pretty cool.
Whoa, so how'd you land on Denim Gold?
Great question. I don't know. A little bit of magic. I don't know.
we went through a lot of things. I think that we started thinking about names probably several years ago, like
Mhm.
idea of it. And so we had some like concepts already kind of brewing, but we really liked denim because of just kind of the Western lifestyle and the down to earth, like, hardworking aspect that denim kind of represents and always has. And rootsy kind of. And then gold. I liked gold because I always wear gold jewelry, to be honest.
I
Michelle
love
always
that though.
was wear gold too, Michelle, but
I do. Gold and turquoise, I love. Yeah.
gold and so
Well, it's interesting, Hannah. I do remember turquoise and gold was kind of our initial band name idea. And we were like, man, that's a mouthful. Like it fits us, but it's a mouthful. And I think we ended up landing on denim because it was easy to say and kind of represents like exactly what you said, just kind of this Americana, like rootsy feel to our music. So we feel like it fits pretty well. And, gold is bright and shiny. So they're kind of contrasts. And
and it also like
I love that.
represented for us, like the purity of the music because I think we both want our music to be very genuine and kind of tested by time and able to withstand that. So yeah, it's kind of like the purity of gold too is part
Yeah,
of
for
part of it.
sure. For
Yeah, so
sure. Well said.
yeah, it's definitely one of those band names. Like as soon as you hear it, you kind of know what you guys are about, which I think is very cool. And now
Sweet.
I'm seeing the matching hats. I feel kind of left out.
We'll get you a hat.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna hold you to it.
You got two
So
colors.
Two
I
colors.
both of them are very cute. Yeah, I'm digging it. So yeah, Under the Big Sky, like so is that the big show you guys have played so far? Like how did that feel?
Yeah, I would say that's probably the biggest show we've played together. Before we officially joined forces as a duo, we got to open for Ashley McBride together. Wasn't there another big show we did the last summer, Hannah?
We also opened for Hogslot String Band.
That's right. Oh, that was the crazy show with the weather and your guitar. We
Wild.
won't talk about that. Anyway, so we've done a couple, big shows, but man, yeah, Under the Big Sky, it's a huge stage. Such an honor to get to play on it.
The lineup is just stellar. So to be able to open the show for so many artists that we've listened to for forever and just have so much respect for. That's really, really special.
I read the interview you guys did with Kelsey before Under the Big Sky, and I heard murmurings about a new album.
Yeah. So we played Under the Big Sky this past summer, but Outriders had reached out to us, the fall previous to that, and asked if we'd play. And of course, we said yes. And we were like, we need to have a new record if we're gonna be an official duo, like we're calling ourselves. So we spent almost every Saturday of that winter, last winter, writing for this record. And finished up all the songs, got to play almost all of them at the festival with our live band, obviously. And that was really, really special and also really cool because we hadn't recorded it yet, but we were able to work up the songs live, which I feel like is kind of rare to be
Hmm.
able to do that. And doing it that way kind of shifted different ideas for the production of the songs and what we wanted them to be. So now we're getting ready to go into the studio this month and next month. And I feel so confident now to record them the way
Hmm.
be because we have played them live, which is not what you usually do, but that's kind of what happened for us. And yeah, we're stoked about all the songs.
I feel like we've really gotten to live with the songs. I think our intention and plan was to definitely release the music before Under the Big Sky, and here we are, all these months later. It's not released yet. But I mean, there's so many reasons. I think we just didn't really want to rush the process because these songs are so valuable and important and part of our lives now. And so, yeah, we're really excited to finish this project up so everyone can hear it.
Michelle and I ended up having super busy summers. I think I played more live shows over the summer than I ever have. And then I got married too,
Yeah.
which takes up a lot of
Congratulations.
time. Thank you. Between both of our lives, we're just like recording something in the summer makes no sense
Yeah.
as a gigging musician. So this is a
It
winter
was,
project.
yeah, it was definitely high hopes that we had and just, not how it turned out. And that's all good. It's
Yeah,
gonna be what it's meant to be.
yeah, that happens sometimes. And the summer for everybody up here is just so busy.
Yeah.
Like it's just time to like go, go, go. So when you guys have recorded music in the past, like is the winter time, like a lot of artists I talk to, they do like recording in the winter time. Is that like something you guys kind of resonate with?
Definitely. I think it's the smart and the wise thing. I think because I have a school job year round. So August through May, I'm a music teacher. And so I think in my mind, I was like, oh, summer's going to be so much more open for me. But it wasn't because as a musician, you're gigging all summer and I have a toddler and life is just it's busy and yeah, but I would say winter it's such a sweet time to just kind of hone in and be creative and write and record. And I feel like that slowdown kind of usually starts in October, and can kind of probably go through March, before things start getting busy again.
Guys have been playing these songs for a while now. But what inspired them? Like, what is there like a cohesive kind of theme throughout the album, or what went into making and writing these songs?
We should have a clear answer for
I
this.
know.
I don't. I think both of our writing styles is pretty organic. And so
Mhm.
I think like when we sat down to write every Saturday, you kind of asked the question, like how was your week? What's going on in your life? Um,
Mhm.
and when you're writing for a project and you have a deadline, you're also thinking about potential ideas all the time. So
So
I
true.
think we had a general idea for the flow of the album. We wanted a
Mhm.
few mellow songs, we wanted some mid-tempo, we wanted something that stood out from the mid-tempo songs, and that's our Good Gene song really does that.
Yeah,
So
for
we had
sure.
more, I think, a vision for the dynamics and the actual themes of this
Yeah.
song.
For
Really.
sure. I would agree with that, Hannah. And I think both Hannah and I are songwriters. We write with other people, we write with each other, we write with or by ourselves. When I come up with a song idea, it's either a Michelle song or it's a song I want to write with Hannah, or maybe somebody else, but definitely during this season, these song ideas would come up and I'd be like, oh, I have to write this with Hannah. I hope she likes it. And sometimes it was like a hit or a miss, but I feel like most of the time, if I came to Hannah with an idea or she came to me with an idea, it was like, yeah, this is a song for us to write together. And I think because we're such close friends, we could just kind of like I don't know, feel it out. We didn't really have to think about it a whole lot. And I do think there's themes, but I don't think we've thought about them. They weren't intentionally created. Definitely there's a theme of just Montana nature in the like imagery that's used in a lot of the songs. I don't know. And maybe just a little bit of that Western lifestyle woven in. Um, but none of that was intentional. It all just kind of happened organically because of our interests and what we experienced living here.
And I think something that's so special for us writing together is, for one, we've been friends for quite a while, so we know
Mhm.
each other, but also we've been our own artists for quite a while too, and we know each other's music almost backwards and forwards.
Right.
So, when I come up with a song idea, I know if it's like, oh, this is more of a me song than a Michelle song, and Michelle knows, oh, this is more of like a her song than a me song.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's really special. And then it's special too to be able to know each other's um, tendencies in writing and flavors that you bring to the table. So we wrote some songs on the record that had I been writing myself, it would have gone a different direction. And I think same
Yeah.
for
Same.
but there's enough overlap there where we're like, this is what we are. Makes sense.
Hmm.
So yeah, I also want to ask about like your origin stories, like your own respective origin stories, because you guys have been musicians like you said, independently for a long time. So yeah, could you guys kind of explain each how you got into music?
I grew up in Nashville, Tennessee. I've been in Montana, I guess 14 years. It'll be 15 years next year, which is just wild. That's crazy. And I grew up in a musical household. My dad played music and was a songwriter. So just kind of like grew up with music all around. And from an early time, I just knew I wanted to be a songwriter, and that's what I dove into at a very young age. So I don't really remember a season of life where I wasn't a songwriter. It's just as part of who I am and always has been. The guitar playing, the singing, the musicality, that came later, but the writing of the songs was just kind of part of me. So yeah, and I feel like Montana just brings that creative spark out in people. I think that's part of why I'm here and not in Nashville. Like people say, you go to Nashville to pursue music. And I think sometimes you need to get out in order to really find just your creative spark.
I think that like a lot of like artists I've talked to who they go to Nashville, they try to do the Nashville thing. Nashville's very commercial,
Hmm.
and we're lucky that in the Flathead Valley, a lot of our artists, they don't have that sound. It's a lot more like I don't know, it is a Montana sound, so you want to be in
Sure.
Montana. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
What about you, Hannah?
So I actually started with the fiddle. That was my introduction to music, and I started playing when I was 6, and that was my main thing. 6 to 18, I worked really hard at it, and that was kind of my main focus. But in high school, I started writing my own songs, and that was something that was very private, very personal. And I started writing, I think, because it was therapeutic. Um, and it's something that just naturally happened for me as a way to process life and emotions and all that. And because I always wanted to be a singer, but I was too scared to do it. So I would just write songs and hear songs that I loved, and then I wanted to be able to back myself up while I was singing. So I started learning to play the guitar and just one chord at a time based on the song I wanted to learn. And that's what happened for me. And then really took the artist thing more seriously around probably 19, 20.
Where'd you grow up?
I grew up all over Montana, really. We were on a cattle ranch in Southwest Montana for quite a while and just kind of bopped around all over the state after that. But I've been up here close to 7 years.
When you were 6 years old, what drew you to fiddle? That's such an interesting instrument to pick when you're like that little.
Yeah, I would say I didn't pick it, and my mom picked
Mhm.
it. I don't think at 6 you really know anything. My mom just came home one day and told me about this group of fiddlers in town that is like this man named Sandy James taught people from 3-year-olds to like 90-year-olds, and he had this group and he'd take them all around and we'd play shows at banks and fundraisers and fairs and things like that, and it was just a really healthy little community and activity. And I think my mom always wanted the option of music, to be part of our lives. So she came home and asked if I wanted to play, and I was like, sure. I didn't know any different. I didn't know it was the hardest instrument in the world.
The fiddle immediately, and you might have got this before, it always makes me think of the Chicks. Like I loved your sound. I was like, oh, it's really reminiscent of that. Like, who are some artists that inspire you guys?
Definitely the Chicks. Yeah, we both of us grew up listening to them. Yeah, I would say, there's a lot of overlap in what Hannah and I listen to. Hannah listened to a lot of Alison Krauss. So did I. Nickel Creek. I don't know if Hannah listened to Nickel Creek, but I
Yeah,
loved them growing
huge
up.
Nickel Creek.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. We've talked about this. 90s country, huge influence on my music just growing up in Nashville in the 90s. Like, there's just no way to escape it. Like, even if you're running from it, it's still just kind of, you know, it just becomes part of you. So I definitely have a lot of 90s country influence, which personally I think was one of the best eras of country music, commercial country music, radio country. Um, and the Chicks, they were all over the radio and man, they were all playing their own instruments and selling out stadiums, doing such an amazing thing back then. It was very inspiring. And there's something about I don't know, the golden years of their career that just was pure magic. And same with Nickel Creek. I just think, I don't know, there's something special. And I still listen to like some of their new stuff, but it doesn't do that thing for me that the music did back then, and I still respect and love them. But yeah, and Alison Krauss, anything she does still to this day just blows me away.
I'd say listen to a lot of George Strait, as did
Yes.
Michelle, Alan Jackson, Patsy
Yep.
Cline. Yeah, I used to listen to a lot of 90s country, and and still do. It's some of my most favorite as well. And I used to try to sing like all those 90 countries, female
Oh
singers
yeah.
with the booming voice, and I'd be like, I can't do this. I can't.
Same.
And also, all of the female vocalists that I was around, I was around incredible, incredible musicians growing up and singers. And these women would just sing with these belting voices, like, and so then I'd be like, well, this is how I need to sing if I'm going to be a singer. And it never worked for me. And so I always thought I was a bad singer. And then it wasn't until I started writing my own music and recording my own music that I, really found my voice. You know, it's funny that I always liked Alison Krauss's voice better than any of the other ones,
Yeah.
but for some reason that didn't click to me that I could try to sing that way, more, softer and all of that till later.
You guys have beautiful harmonies together. I always like to ask when there's like a duo like you guys, how did it feel when you kind of like realized that that worked so well?
I don't know. It feels like since we became friends, we've been doing this, but there was some gigs early on where we like just didn't practice and we just showed up and like you just never knew what was going to happen. You know what I mean? Like we were winging it and having so much fun because we could wing it and people still loved it. Like, I don't know if that makes any sense, but we were just kind of like figuring it out. And then sometimes it would just feel like magic. You know what I'm saying? Um, and so it felt awesome just to have those moments where you look at each other and you're like, we just nailed that. I don't know. That probably sounds very egotistical, but I feel like it's just more fun to play with someone else because music is meant to be played with other people, I think, and just so wonderful.
I think part of it that work makes it work really well too is our voices are different registers too.
Hmm.
Like Michelle can hit these beautiful lower tones and notes and things that I could not hit. And then mine is just it's a little bit more airy and higher. So when you blend it, there's just a really nice overlap there that happens. And Michelle is an amazing harmony singer. So fun always for me to get to sing with her when she's doing harmony, and she's taught me a lot about how to do it. So
I don't know about that. You honestly, Hannah has such an amazing ear. You have to be able to play the fiddle, obviously. But I do remember our first times because you had never really sang harmony with anyone before when we first started. And it was kind of like this, you had the skill, but you lacked the confidence. And now you have the skill and the confidence, and it's just like it just comes together so beautifully. And I think that was part of you like coming into your own and realizing that you love your voice. You love your voice as a solo singer, but also as a harmony singer. And that's been so really fun and beautiful to watch. Hannah can do it all.
it's all a work in progress, and that's part of what's really fun is being friends and also being artists, and now having this project together. As we get to encourage each other on our own journeys of getting better, and bring suggestions and thoughts to the table that maybe we wouldn't have thought of otherwise. And yeah, it's just really fun to try to get better, a little bit better every day, and do that together. It's really cool.
We're so looking forward to your show this week and to your new album next year. Thank you guys.